Thank you, folks. As the credits roll, it gives me great pleasure to introduce two of the stars of the film. We'll start with Eliana Tidhar. Eliana, thank you so much for being here. Who played Anna? Is that what it is? Anna? Ada. I was
Hello.
close. And Meshi Kleinstein. Meshi, thank you so much for being here. I'm blanking on your character's name.
Adassa.
Adassa.
Adassa is my character's name.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is an epic film. It really is like nothing I've ever seen out of Israel before. I'm sure being a part of it was like nothing ever made before. I want to start first by talking about your characters. Where did your characters come from? Are you Argentinian?
Hardly.
And how did you prepare for this
Russian.
role?
This is me.
I'm half Persian, so no.
So fluent in Spanish.
Actually, our generation in Israel, we grew up watching soap operas in Spanish. So I was thinking as a child, well, I'm just sitting in front of my TV watching my favorite soap opera. But no, I learned the language, and it's like technically an easier language than, in my opinion. So it was like in the back of my head, and then we had a teacher, and we learned for the movie.
I never saw the telenovelas.
All the
in Israel.
Generation except for Meshi.
Except for me, yeah. I didn't even know a word in Spanish before that movie. So we had to take a great teacher, and she taught us how to speak Spanish and to speak Hebrew in Spanish accent.
Which was a bit harder, right?
Really?
For me, to speak like Hebrew, which I know very good, in an Argentinian accent was really confusing, but it was very fun. It was like music. We recorded her, and then we would hear it on the way to the set, and it was like mantra.
Yeah, I felt like my Spanish was at first a little bit Italian, but I worked on it, and it was okay.
Are there any Argentinians in the room?
Were we good?
Wow.
Because Avi Nesher claims that you managed to fool some Argentinian Israelis.
Yes.
Yeah, success.
That's a win right there.
So who were your characters? Tell us who were these women, and why? What was the significance of them being Argentinian immigrants?
You go.
First of all, I want to tell you about Avi's very unique way of working with actors and auditioning and his unique way of making films. He writes a script, and then he casts, and then he rewrites the whole script with the actors. So the characters and the actors are very much alike. I remember we had a meeting. It was like going to a shrink. I sat in front of him and opened up about stories, very personal stories from my life that I've been through, and he told me his. And then this is how we built Ada's character from my personal stories. So by the time I got to the set, Ada was part of me. It was very natural to be her. So this is about the work in progress. There were Argentinians, olim, immigrants in Kibbutz Nitzanim at that time. So our characters, it's not like Joy's character. It's not based like full-on true story. It's a combine of few stories that Avi found. Yeah, you want to add something?
Yes. So I'll tell you about Adassa. Adassa, it was a dream of mine working with Avi Nesher. And when I got to, first of all, you don't go to an audition, you go to meet him. And I felt like it was a good meeting. For the first meeting, it was good, and then, like Eliana said, it was the process was actually, I felt like Avi is getting to know me, getting to know my stories, my personality, and I felt like Hadassah and I merged into one person. And I feel like Adassa is like a true love warrior. She believes the best in people. Until the very end. And I really feel like this is me. So even when I felt on the set that one time I went to Avi and I said, Avi, do you need more? Do you need less? Do you need something different? And he said, no, you're Adassa. Don't do anything. You just be you. And it was very calming. Right?
Yeah, it was very natural. I remember that in the beginning of the production, we were like, this is a huge film. Avi Nesher is like the highest level of director that actress would want to work with. And then we got the schedule for the rehearsals, and we saw like 2, something like that.
No rehearsals.
Meshi and I we're like, what? This is it? We're not gonna rehearse millions of times? And he was like, no, you know the job. You're the characters. You don't need to rehearse. So that was amazing. Yeah.
So the production, as I was mentioning before, I mean, this is a big undertaking, a film like this out of the Israeli film industry, which has come a long way, but still to create a historic, epic war film, there's a lot going on there. What was it like to work on this kind of production? And especially, I have to add on, this was during the pandemic. So
Well,
how did that change things?
Unlike here,
You start this time.
unlike here in Israel, we usually work under limited budget, but that was so amazing and different in this kind of production because they actually built a whole kibbutz from scratch, like a real replica, and we felt so lucky getting up at 4 a.m. and going back in time. It really felt like that. And the pandemic, you go.
I'll tell about her.
Yes.
So we filmed at the second lockdown in Israel, like the very intense COVID wave in Israel. Everybody was at home. We were at the set, and we've been asked to minimize our social interactions with people, with the outside world. So I saw just my husband and Meshi, and the cast. And also we stayed at a hotel near the set. So the cast was our family, the whole production. We were together all the time. And I think it made us very, very close. And you can also see it on the screen. We really, it really felt like we're a kibbutz. So yeah, I think you can see it on the screen. So it was challenging, the whole Corona situation, but I think it
really
did good for the movie.
The experience, yeah.
And Avi had shared with us that actually of all the films that he made, and doesn't pick his favorites, but the bonding that went on because you were all kind of stuck together really gave it a unique experience.
Yeah, it was a very, very big bonding. We would wake up for the shooting like 4 a.m. and we wouldn't miss one night of hanging out with the cast, even if it's like we had like 1 or 2 hours sleep because we wanted to hang out after the filming. It was we really been a kibbutz.
There was nothing better to do. Everything else was closed. I'm going to ask one more question, then we'll take questions from the audience. So prepare your questions, and we'll pass around the microphone. But the title of the film, Image of Victory, I mean, I think in many ways this is a very brave film from an Israeli perspective to tell a story that comes, its narrative, its perspective starts, its moderator is an Egyptian. And it gives you an Egyptian perspective too. What's your take on the reason for the title, Image of Victory?
I think that it's a very relevant name for the time, our time right now that we live in, a fake news era and social media. Today, you don't have to have proof. You can just post a picture and people might believe whatever's in this picture. And I think Image of Victory is, it tells about what we would do for an image, what people would make other people do for an image. And the fact that we should think about what we see, the images that we see like every day in our lives. Yeah.
Meshi?
I agree with Eliana.
Good. No, I mean, I think that there's some irony there, of course, that it's an image of victory, and it's not, and it's not a true victory, and there's no victory here.
For none of us, yeah.
I saw some hands up from the audience, and Liel here has the mic, and
I actually
please use the microphone though, so we can get you on recording.
I actually went to school in Nitzanim, so this is very close to my heart. So I have a question. Where was the kibbutz set recreated?
In
Near
Be'er
Beersheba.
Sheva.
Yeah.
In Be'er Sheva?
Yeah.
Okay. So
In
it
the
was
desert. They actually... Yes.
No, okay.
But they took a lot of sand and they put it in the desert next to Be'er Sheva, yes.
Yeah.
No, because you see the ocean, so that, I mean, Be'er Sheva
There
is
was
inland.
one day of shooting not in Be'er Sheva, in Nitzanim, yes. Right? It was in Nitzanim.
Okay. And where did you guys stay? That you said that you stayed
Next to Be'er Sheva.
Next to Be'er Sheva?
Yes.
Okay.
Was a sort of a hotel
Sort of hotel.
for the production. But it was fun.
How long did it take to film, to do
2
the film?
months?
2.5
Yeah.
2.5 months.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Thank you. Toda rabba.
Okay.
It's my time to thank our sponsors, this hotel, which I'm sure was not one of their hotels that you stayed at in Beersheba. No. I saw a question.
Where have you been?
A question on this side. Somebody have their hand up? There we go. Let me.
Guys, you were amazing actresses. You made my husband, who's Argentinian, truly. He said to me, I asked him whose accent was it. He goes, Argentinian. So you were great. And I had a cousin who also learned Spanish through the telenovela, so it must have been very popular. But anyway, besides the point, did the director ever get in touch with the Arab journalist? And also, was there any of the footage really from his, or was it all destroyed?
I think he read his journal. I'm not really sure about like filmed material.
In the podcast, Avi Nesher said they actually saw some of the movie.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
There
he saw footage, and he said that he had watched some of it, and that's what actually turned him on to all of this concept. And I think it brings in a whole other cinematic side to the film, that this is being told from the eyes of a filmmaker, and what this means to capture this story and then to retell the story. It's very meta in some ways, that it's a film within a film. We have time for one last question up there. Oh, two last. We'll take the two last.
Hi. First of all, it's a great film. And I did not expect it to be a great film because I heard about the controversy of Nitzanim, so I wasn't ready to think that it's going to be a great film, but it really is a great film. But my question to you is, you belong to a generation that does not remember the time or the Independence Day. And I'm wondering, how did you feel seeing the fate of these people, playing the fate of these people? Today, it can't, one cannot imagine that something like that could happen today. So I wonder how, besides of taking on the character of Ada and Hadassah, how did you feel as an Israeli who was living today about that period?
I feel like it's a troop of very young people, and they like there are young kids going to the military. There is something that they truly believe in, and they're willing to die for what they believe in and what they love. And so I think I can connect with the fact that I will die for something that I love. I will die for something that I believe in. So I felt like I can relate to those people. I don't know. I think that if I was at that time, this is how I'll react. That's my answer.
Totally. Yeah.
But I'm not, so.
Hi.
One last question there. Thank you.
Hello. Your film was amazing. I didn't know what to expect because I really had no time to read up on this. However, I noticed that there were a sizable number of generally Arab actors in this movie, and I've seen a lot of recognizable faces in things like Fauda and other such things. I wanted to know, did they happen to mention, did they get any flack from their family and friends? Because, this is talking about two sides of the same story. But I'm wondering if they felt a lot of resistance from their family and friends about this movie.
They didn't told us about any experiences.
No, there were. We didn't feel like there was any conflicts. We were like one group.
Yeah.
Same side all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Folks, first of all, there's another question. We can't say no to a kid, right? This is the JCC after all. I'm not going to ask how old, but thank you. Please.
Was it intense filming that movie?
Intense?
Yeah, because
Like
you
how
were
intense?
yeah, was it hard filming the movie because you said you had to wake up really early?
Oh. This is our lives. I mean, we wake up for every movie or series very early, but we do what we love. So it wasn't hard, and we really had fun all together, all the actors. So it was intense because the story is very intense. So but we're actors. This is what we love to do. Become other people.
We get up 4 a.m. for comedies too. So.
What was the hardest part for you guys?
I was thinking about it. I didn't remember a very hard part.
So I will tell.
Okay. Just that it was very hot. I knew that's what you were going to say.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Okay, it was the middle of the desert, okay? It was very hot during the day, and it was very, very cold at night. Wow. And I think the hardest part was the first day of filming, and it was supposed to be winter. It was not winter, and we were with coats and sweaters and everything, layers on layers, and we were filming all day. And then we went to the beach. That was the first day of filming, the beach part. And we all like, okay, we're gonna get inside the water soon, so it's gonna be okay. And there's a whole scene that we're getting undressed and going to the beach. Okay, that scene took like 4 hours. We got undressed, and then we put back our clothes on, and then we got undressed, and then we put back our clothes on,
And
again,
sunscreen,
and again,
also
and
sunscreen.
and sand. And I'm not good with sand. I don't know, how are you with sand? Oh, you're okay. I'm not. And it was very, very hard. And the funny part is that we were supposed to finally get inside the water and act like it's cold, the water. It was funny. All we wanted to do is get inside the water and, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold.
What's next for both of you?
Wow. I have another series in the summer. Yeah.
And you just finished a movie that's out in Israel?
Yes, me and my husband here, we created a movie for the whole family, which is now on screen in Israel. Yeah.
Next
Let's,
year here.
Yeah.
They're
What's the
asking
name of the
for a
film?
name. The name of the movie.
הסיפור שלנו, our story. Yeah.
Meshi, what's next for you? What have you been working on since this?
I got married 3 months ago. Yes. And right after I filmed 2 movie films, and then I came here. You know Yoram Gaon? So one of them is I'm the granddaughter of Yoram Gaon. It was very, very emotional for me because I love him so much. And the other one I played Haredit, you say?
Orthodox.
Orthodox, yes. And then I'm coming to Israel in a week, and I'm filming a season 2 for Parpar Nechmad. Do you know Parpar Nechmad? Yes. I'm playing Meshi there.
Thank you both so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.